Hello, everybody in the Philippines. Good morning. I will just wait for some people to come online. It is about 9 a.m. there, so good morning. It is 9 p.m. here in Canada, where I live. But yeah, so just like to welcome everybody to the Sash Factor at my live video. And thank you so much, Sash Factor, for having me. I am so excited to be here with all of you, and feel free to ask any questions that you may have about Miss Universe, maybe about my country, or anything you want to know about me personally that you don't already know. So yeah, we're just waiting for a couple more people, but good morning to all of you that just joined. Thank you for tuning in with me. Good morning to you too. I am 24 years old. Yes, we have a couple more joiners still. So good morning again. Hi, Adam. Good morning, everybody in the Philippines. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Ooh, we have someone from Canada tuning in. I love that. And yes, I'm so happy for you to watch in Atlanta. Go Canada. Yeah, Miss Universe is only less than a month away, which is pretty crazy, but I'm so excited. I'm ready. I was ready when I won, so I'm excited for the time to come. And yeah, it'll be in Atlanta, Georgia. So for me, the U.S. is pretty much my second home. I live on a border city, so I live in Windsor, Ontario, which is the border city to Detroit, Michigan, USA. So I go to the States a lot, so I'm excited for it to be in Atlanta, Georgia. Hello from Niagara. Good morning. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Hello. I just want to make sure I didn't miss a question. But yeah, less than a month. So I'm pretty excited. We have a couple things that we're just finishing up for my preparation for Miss Universe. But we'll be in Atlanta. I'm not sure the exact date we arrive, but I'm excited to be there. I've never been to Atlanta, Georgia before, so I'm excited to see it. I have a question here saying, have you ever wanted to become a beauty queen? Well, funny story is I actually was a hockey player growing up. So I had big goalie equipment, big pads. I was a little bit of a tomboy. So when I was a little kid, I never thought I'd be a beauty queen. But I always dreamt of representing Canada. So when I played hockey, I really wanted to be on the Olympics for Team Canada. So this is pretty similar in the sense of making my dream come true, but just a lot different. Now I'm in the beauty pageant world. So yeah, it's kind of a funny story how I got there. Yeah, to re-answer that question, yeah, being part of a beauty pageant wasn't my dream as a kid, but representing Canada at the highest level was. So I fulfilled my dream just in a different passion. Who do you think is the strongest candidate? There's so many strong girls this year. I'm so excited to meet some of them. I have a couple friends competing, so I'm excited to see them again. I think this is one of the strongest years, so I'm very excited to compete against these ladies. Good evening from Cleveland. Yes, I've been to Cleveland, Ohio, so that's a very nice spot. Preparations. I love working out, so that's been a huge part of my preparation. I work out at Synergy Gym here in Windsor, so it's pretty intense. I work out pretty much every day, and I really enjoy it. So that's something of my preparation I've really liked. We also have been doing a lot of runway training, interview training, and public speaking. So lots of preparation for Miss Universe. Hello. Sorry, I'm trying to read this comment. so I'll tell you a little bit more about myself. I was born in Sudbury, Ontario, which is north of where I live now. And now I live here in Tecumseh, Ontario, which is this small town outside of Windsor. I went to the University of Windsor for business, and I just graduated with my Bachelor of Commerce degree. I specialized in marketing. That is my favorite subject. Growing up, I played hockey. I was a soccer player. I played basketball. I pretty much tried to play as much sports as I can. And I also love art. So I actually created my national costume that I competed with at Miss Canada. So if any of you follow me on Instagram, you'd see the post that I posted of myself in my national costume. It was a maple tree. So I actually handmade that entire costume. So that's one of my favorite hobbies to do. Like I said before, I'm 24 years old. I'm 5'8". And yeah, that's a little bit about me. So there's a question about the legalization of cannabis. So yeah, Canada was the first country to legalize marijuana, and I do support our country on this decision. We've seen many benefits over the past year of the legalization of marijuana. So for me, my mom works at a cancer center. She's a nurse practitioner, and she's dealt with many patients with cancer who have used medical marijuana and seen great benefits from it. So I've heard many stories from her of how important it is to have marijuana in the medical field. So that is one very positive benefit of having it. But for me, the recreational side of things, there's safety issues. So for people who used to smoke marijuana before it was legal, there's a lot of safety issues being in the black market. So I think Canada's trying to combat that, and I think that could be very beneficial for Canadians, trying to make people who already use it a lot safer. So we can talk more about that later, and I'm going to get on to more questions. Let's see. Do you like to travel? Have you ever been Asia? I love to travel. I have not been to Asia yet, but I have plans in the new year to come. I have been to Europe, Africa, and only in North America. I've been everywhere in North America, but not South America yet. So I hope to go there soon. Are you friends with any of the past Miss Universe Canadas? Yes, of course. My city has actually done very well at Miss Canada. We've had 5 girls come out of Windsor. So that's pretty exciting. Chelsea DeRoche, she's Miss Canada 2011. She's a very good friend of mine. She's actually one of my coaches. So I've known her for a couple years, and because of her, she is the one who got me involved in pageants. So I do thank Chelsea a lot for that. Also, Marta Stepien, so Miss Universe Canada 2018, is also from my town. So her and I have grown very close. We were close when she competed in 2017. So her and I actually have plans to have lunch later this week. She's just traveling right now, so I can't wait to have lunch with Marta. So stay tuned for that. As well as I do know Sierra Bertrell very well as well, and I know all the Filipino fans love her. She's great. So I've been in touch with her as well. I love watching all her videos about Miss Universe, so they're very interesting to watch, and she is a great one too. What is your advocacy? So my uncle was diagnosed with schizophrenia when he was 18 years old. And him and I are very close, although there's been many issues with this illness. For anyone who knows, it's a very severe mental illness. There's a lot of personal issues and family issues that arise from a person having schizophrenia. So for me, I work closely with the Canadian Mental Health Association. It's very close to my heart. My uncle and I, he's been through a lot, and I've witnessed it since I was a little girl. It was one of the most traumatizing experiences as a kid, but I found a way to turn it into something positive and learn to deal with someone who has a severe mental illness and try to find the benefits that we can face from it. So I've definitely learned a lot from him, and that is my biggest advocacy as Miss Universe Canada. But even outside of pageants, I've always supported the Mental Health Association and will continue to. Thank you guys. Everyone is so sweet. I will come visit the Philippines. For any of you that know Thea, sorry, my light turned off. Thea, she was Miss Eco International for the Philippines. So I competed with her before, and I have plans to come visit her. I miss her. And Miss Supranational 2018 from the Philippines as well, Jessa. So I hope to come to the Philippines. I have a couple of friends, so I would love to see them. Let's see. What do you do when you're stressed? Oh, being stressed is inevitable, but you have to kind of focus on yourself and figure out what makes you feel the best. When I'm stressed, I really like to work out, go for a run and kind of clear my head, listen to some music, and try to focus on what I'm thankful in life and not focus about what I'm stressed for. For me, being a hockey player growing up, I was a goaltender, so I always had the pressure on me. And so that's something I kind of like. So stress doesn't get to me too much because I'm used to being under pressure, and I truly do enjoy that. So for me, I just like to listen to music, really. The type of music I listen to, for all of you that may know my two Canadian favorite artists, Justin Bieber, he was born in Canada, actually about 2 hours away from my hometown, as well as Toronto's very own Drake. So those are my two favorite artists, and they both happen to be Canadian, so I'm proud. So those are my two. I love Cynthia. I do miss her. She's so amazing. When I competed with Cynthia was it 2017? At Miss Eco, she was just phenomenal from the beginning, and she became a good friend of mine. I've learned so much from her, so I do thank her for that, and I truly understand why she won that year. She was pretty amazing. Something that attracted me to join Miss Canada was I used to be a dancer. So being on stage, I dance hip hop and jazz most often. Being on stage was so fun for me, and I just kind of wanted to find other ways to do it. So competing in a local pageant at 17 years old, I met Chelsea Drochet, a former Miss Canada, and she saw my potential and really reached out to tell me that I should do this as a career. So I decided to, and I fell in love with my first pageant, and I can't thank her enough for getting me involved. Miss Universe Canada is the highest title here in Canada, and pretty much each country, so I definitely knew I wanted to be at my very best. Being so competitive in sports and in dance, I knew that this was my dream, and I'm so happy it came true. Yeah, I competed twice internationally, once at Miss Eco International and once at Miss Supranational. So going to Egypt and Poland was an amazing experience. The girls I met were amazing. My roommates, Miss Australia, Miss USA, were so great. They made my experience amazing. So I was so happy to have them. Says what's my advocacy if I win Miss Universe? So I would love to still stick with the mental health. I think mental health is so important in today's day and age, and it's not talked about enough. I actually created the hashtag #TalkAboutMe, the me stands for mental education. So I think it's really important that we start educating ourselves and listening to how we feel. It's always important to talk to one another and ask them how they're feeling. But the other thing is, when I created the hashtag #TalkAboutMe, I wanted to also focus on yourself. Of course, helping others is most important, but sometimes it's okay to sit back and think about how you feel in a situation and address your mental health, and that'll make you feel better, and you can help other people that way too. My training is going great, so that is good so far. Less than a month away till we leave, so it's pretty exciting. It's crunch time now. do you think your previous pageant experience? Yeah, my previous pageant experience will definitely help me at Miss Universe. I remember going to my first international pageant. I was so unprepared, I was so rushed, and I was just so excited to just try something new. I've never competed internationally before. So when I was in Egypt, it was a wide awakening, but I'm so happy to have that experience. I learned so much from both international competitions. So for me, experience is everything, and I can never take away from the experiences that I've had, and I know that it'll help me at Miss Universe. Who is my favorite Miss Universe? Well, you guys might love her too, but Pia Wurtzbach is definitely one of my favorite Miss Universe. I love her, I follow her, she's amazing, and I hope to meet her one day. Canada has been placed in the top 10 for the past 3 years. Yes, that is so amazing. Go Canada. I'm so proud to be from a country, and we're doing so well lately. Sierra, Lauren Howe, Marta, all 3 girls placed in the top 10 or 9, so that's pretty amazing. I hope to follow in their footsteps. It'll actually be Canada's longest placing streak if I place, so fingers crossed. I'm doing everything I possibly can in my power to place. I know how pageants are, and I know how competitive they are. I know how great the other girls are. So hopefully that Miss Universe can see my passion, dedication, and see if I can put myself in the top 10 with my other fellow Canadians. Workout routine. I love to work out my entire body. My favorite thing to do is abs, actually, which hopefully will benefit me for the swimsuit competition, and I am so excited for that. But yeah, I like to do abs. We do a lot of squats. My gym's actually doing Squattober for October, so the whole month of October we are doing squats constantly every single day, so that is good too. I also love doing arms. I never used to like doing arms, so I've always been very weak even though I played sports, so working out it was a struggle for me at the beginning, but I'm starting to get the hang of it and enjoying it way more. 2 of my favorite contenders would be, I'm probably biased because they're my friends, but Miss Haiti and Miss Peru. Miss Haiti is actually a dual citizen. She's also Canadian, so I have met her and competed with her before, so I can't wait to see her again. And Miss Peru I was with in Egypt, and she is so lovely, so I can't wait to see them both. My sister's tuning in. Thanks, Erica. My sister is actually, her boyfriend is Filipino. He was born in Manila. So she's actually been to the Philippines before I have. So I've heard so many amazing things about the Philippines, and I can't wait to go visit in the new year. Yes, so my parents are so supportive and so amazing. I can't thank them enough. But yeah, my other support system would be my sister. She is older than I am by 2 years. And my younger brother. He is 4 years younger than me. So both of them, we all took business at the university. We're all business degrees. So is my dad. My mom is the only one who went in the medical route. But yeah, they're so amazing. I also have a little bunny. Her name is Monty. She's super cute. So yeah, I love all my siblings, my parents. They've been so supportive through this whole journey. And they were there in the crowd when I won. It was so amazing. They knew how hard I worked for it, so I was happy that they got to witness it. Something people don't know about me. Well, I already told you I was a hockey player, so many people don't know that about me and don't think that pageant girls can be athletic. So Canada's favorite sport and national sport is, well, the national sport isn't hockey, but it's our favorite sport here in Canada, and I played that for a while. So that's something you may not know. Something else that nobody probably knows is I love spicy foods. I put spice on anything and everything I possibly can. Some of my favorite dishes to put spice on is pad thai, miso soup. I love putting sriracha in those, or red chili flakes. Something weird, I always put hot sauce on salad. So that's a little strange. A lot of people are confused when I do that, but I personally love it. I love hot sauce. I drink a spicy ginger tea. So, yeah, I love spicy food. That's something you may not know about me. Yeah, people who say that pageants objectify women, I think are completely wrong. Pageants are the most inspiring and life-changing event I've ever been a part of. I would not be the person I am today without pageants. When I was a kid, I was afraid of being alone. I was very reliant on other people. I've never traveled alone as a kid. I was scared of other countries from listening to the news and not really experiencing it for yourself. So for me, pageants gave me the confidence to public speak. How many people can say they can walk on stage in a bikini or talk in front of a crowd not knowing what the question's going to be? It's pretty amazing when you look at the grand scheme of things. And I know my friends have all said things about pageants that they may not agree with them or don't think they're great for women. Until they meet me, hear my story, and see me grow, everyone I know believes in pageants. It's so amazing how many great things have come into my life because of pageantry. So I do not think they objectify women. I am so proud to walk in a swimsuit and show all my hard work that I've been doing. It's not about being a certain size. It has nothing to do with size at all. It's about being the healthiest person you possibly can be. So whatever weight is your healthiest, and that's fine. As long as you're eating the right foods and taking care of your body, whatever shows on the outside, it doesn't matter. As long as you're healthy on the inside, that's what it will show during swimsuit. Yes, I can't wait to come to the Philippines. Hopefully soon. One of the greatest things about being Canadian that I have experienced so far is whenever I travel somewhere, the second I say I'm Canadian, people are excited, they're happy. So I love our image that we have across the world. It's so inspiring to us. People always stereotype us as being really nice, so it's kind of funny. And a lot of people make fun of us because we say sorry too much, but which is true. Whenever Americans come to Canada, they'll always laugh because they'll watch movies about Americans making fun of Canadians for saying sorry, even if it's our fault or their fault. So it's pretty funny. We actually do say sorry a lot. Do I play curling? No, I actually have only curled once in my life before, but curling is very popular here in Canada. In my city, it's not as popular as other places in Canada, but here it is very popular. Thoughts about same-sex marriage? Love is love. I can't stress that enough. Love is love. So for me, I support it 100%. I don't think someone else's marriage decision should affect you personally. I think we should just try to support each other, be happy for one another. Love is so important, and it's what we do best. So if anyone can find a person that they love and want to spend the rest of their life with, I support them 100%. Ooh, I look like a girl from Spice Girls. I used to love the Spice Girls. They're so fun. Baby Spice was always my favorite. But 3 objectives that best describe me. Definitely ambitious. As you guys may remember, I played a lot of sports growing up. I love art, dance, acting, singing, all of it. So I'm definitely ambitious. I go for what I want. I give everything my all, and that's a key word. Also authentic. I think in this industry, and even being in high school, you go through so many life struggles. Having a career, you go through struggles. You're always going to struggle in life, but it's so important to just be true to yourself. Being in pageants, you compete against the top people or top women across the country, across the world. So it's so intimidating almost, but you just have to stay true to yourself and believe in what you have and what you have to offer, and just support one another along the way. So another objective is confidence. I have always been a confident person, but it's something that I cherish because some people may not have confidence right away, but it's so important to try to bring that out in other people. And I think that's something I've worked on doing for a long time. I believe confidence is so important, and there's actually a couple young teenagers that I teach confidence to here in my city. So I think it's really important to learn at a young age, and it can definitely help you deal with life struggles in the future. Thank you for all the good luck. I appreciate that, Dave. Yeah, I think social media is so important in pageants now. I mean, even in business, it's huge. Having a business degree, I see so much potential for local businesses, global businesses to grow on social media. I don't necessarily say it's positive or negative. I think we get consumed in social media way too much, so it's important to just take a break sometimes. And I know that you. Sorry, my phone went off. I know that you. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, being it positive or negative. Yeah, you just need to take a break and step away. There's so many negative comments on social media, and I know since I've won, I've faced so many negative comments, but you just have to not focus on that. It can be negative, but it could also be positive. I've had so many reassuring comments since I've won. There's also been business opportunities, and there could be potential in the future. So I think social media is great, but you definitely need to take breaks as much as you can. Love from Canada. Thank you, Philippines. The current gender, it's not just my generation, but the world in general, would definitely be mental health. I think there's so many issues. Being a border city, the States is so close to me, and I hear all the news from the States so often. So I just think mental health has come up in so many big issues in the world, and it's mostly because no one wants to talk about it. Everyone's embarrassed. And I know my uncle struggled with that because even as his niece, I don't want to tell people he has schizophrenia because people treat him differently. People are rude to him just because he's sick. So for me as a kid, I never wanted to tell people. I was really embarrassed of it. So that right there is exactly what the problem is. So for me, learning about his illness and how to combat this issue, I really wanted to speak up about it. For now, I tell everybody he knows he's sick. He tells people he's sick, and we just try to work that way because it's really hard to live a life with what he has. It's an incurable disease, so we're just trying to do the best with it. Catriona, she actually came in, I think, May. She came to Canada, she visited Toronto, and she came to one of our practices for Miss Universe Canada. There was about 20 delegates from the Toronto area, and her and Marta were both present with us. They spoke about their experience at Miss Universe. Catriona, from the minute she walked in, she just acts the part. She's such a queen, and she had so many positive things to say. I asked her the question about her walk, because walking on stage is probably my favorite thing about performing on stage. So her walk was obviously amazing, the lava walk. We all loved it. And Marta's, if you guys remember her swimsuit walk, she had a nice little hand gesture with her sarong. So they were both had beautiful stage performance, so I got the chance to talk to both of them about it. Catriona was so well spoken. She's so polite. She's so nice. So I'm excited to see her again. In 5 years from now, well, I definitely am looking forward to moving sometime soon after my year is over. So I kind of am interested in living in a new country. So we'll see about that. But in a couple years, I definitely want to be in broadcasting. I really enjoy public speaking, and if anyone can guess which genre I'd want to be in, would be sports. So as a female being in the sports industry, it's always a struggle for us ladies, but I want to be in sports. So that's something I plan to do in the next 5 years. Body shaming. Yes, body shaming is terrible. And for you Filipinos who know Sierra Burchell, she was body shamed when she competed in Miss Universe in the Philippines. So I remember seeing so many things online about negative comments on her body, and it was terrible to watch. She was a friend of mine, and I can't believe the things people would say. People are so mean, and it just creates a negative environment for people, and it's just not right. So for me, I don't think people should ever be body shamed, but people shouldn't make rude comments ever, but that always happens. Yeah, I don't think it's right at all. And I applaud Sierra for standing up for herself and creating an advocacy to help other women. I know people are body shamed all the time. When I was younger, everyone thought I looked malnourished, so I was opposite. I was body shamed, but in an opposite way. So everyone always used to call me bulimic or anorexic. And it was pretty terrible as a kid because I love food and I eat all the time. So just my genetics just didn't develop my body to the normal standard at a young age. So I was body shamed as a kid too. Yeah, there's a huge stigma for mental health, pretty much for what I said. People are embarrassed to talk about it, and especially there's such a large amount of people who never seek help, and that's the problem because you're embarrassed, and people don't understand that taking care of your mental health is just like taking care of your physical health. If you are sick to your stomach, you need to fix it, right? So if something's not right in your mind, you need to fix it. And for me, I go through a lot of mental struggles. Some days are better than others, and you just have to kind of address it. You have to really listen to yourself and how your body feels and how your mind feels in certain situations, and don't be afraid to talk to somebody. Believe me, my friends know it. I'll call them through every little detail because I just need to talk to somebody about it. It makes me feel 100 times better. Yeah, the Miss Universe slogan is confidently beautiful, which is such a great slogan. To me, it means being happy with yourself. It means looking on the inside and really truly loving the qualities that you have and not being ashamed for any flaws that you have. You should own those flaws because that's what makes you you. And it's so important, like the word beautiful to me is like happiness. And you want to spread that beautiful, happy vibe with other people. And I think confidently beautiful people have such a radiant energy that other people want to feel happy and confident in themselves just by speaking to you. So that's what that means to me. Yeah, I think it's important for queens to stand for anything in your community, but not only beauty queens. I think every person in life should have a purpose. And for me, pageants have always been, for the past 7 years, my greatest passion. But I found purpose in them by having this advocacy, and now being Miss Universe Canada, I have an even greater platform for mental health. So I think it's so important for every beauty queen to have a platform of what they believe in and be as advocate for these causes as much as possible. But not just beauty queens. Everyone out there should have someone. Miss Puerto Rico. Yes, she's so amazing. She looks great. I follow her on Instagram. I think she's amazing. I can't wait to meet her. One of my friends, she was Miss Universe Canada first runner-up in 2015, and she actually competed with Miss Puerto Rico in a pageant in Egypt about 5 years ago, I think it was. So she said some great things about her, and I can't wait to meet her. Yeah, some people have taken away, or some organizations took away the swimsuit competition. I understand people's take on it, but to me, I agree with the swimsuit competition. Like I said, I'm proud of my body. I worked hard for my body, and people should not be ashamed no matter what size you are. So I think we shouldn't take away the swimsuit aspect. We should just embrace every single type of body type and advocate for a healthy lifestyle, not a healthy body. You want to have a healthy diet and a healthy workout, and if you come out in whatever size you come out with having those two things, and that's what matters. It shouldn't matter how you look in a bikini. It's just the fact that you're healthy. No, I would not change my personal beliefs for anybody. I am very strong-willed and sure of myself and what I believe in. So for me, I would not. I think one of Canada's biggest contributions, which is actually a little controversial because some people don't believe in the legalization of marijuana, but in Canada here we do. So something about not only the cannabis plant, but also hemp plants. So hemp plants have actually started to replace the use of trees for paper products. So they're trying to create more hemp-related paper products. Canada has one of the largest forests that is used to create paper. So instead of ruining our forests and devastating this, we can also use hemp plants. They grow way faster. So I think that's something that Canada is starting, and that you can also start buying hemp-based paper towels in stores and online. So I think that's a great contribution here in Canada, and it can really start off the world by showing people that we have different resources to use instead of killing our trees in our environment. So I think that's something that Canada is doing so greatly. I'm proud to be from a country like that. What advice would I give my 16-year-old self? 16. When I was 16, I was still playing hockey, so I just loved hockey. Oh my God. So when I was 16, I would just say to work hard. I know when I played hockey as a kid, when you're a kid, you kind of just want to hang with your friends or stuff like that, but it's some focus to like invest in yourself and prepare yourself for that. So at 16, I would have probably prepared myself a little bit more to have a career in hockey instead of just trying to take it, have fun, because that's what I really wanted. So hard work really pays off, and for me, I learned that over the years, and it paid off. So yeah. Ooh, my national costume. So I was actually in Vegas a week ago discussing my national costume. So I am so excited for it. I have a creative side. I created my own national costume for Miss Canada. So I really wanted to have a hands-on experience. The designer is from Nicaragua, but he currently lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. So I went there to meet him, see his creations, see his sketch, and it's pretty amazing. So it's something that obviously represents my country. So you'll have to stay tuned to Miss Universe to see it. Yes, Miss Puerto Rico, yes, she will be great. Yes, there is a gun control issue in the United States. Yes, there is. Being a border city, like I said, I'm always in the United States. My mom actually works in the United States, so they are like my second country. And the States, the gun control problem is crazy. There's way too many children dying for no reason. The amount of school shootings they've had is just terrible and traumatizing. As a kid, I remember hearing the news about all the guns, and that's actually my greatest fear is guns. So that stemmed from the United States, and I remember going to Florida as a kid and just being terrified that there would be guns all over the streets. So their gun control issue, I agree with them to have a right to bear arms, but there has to be way more legal rights to get a gun. I remember when there was a school shooting, they said that the guys got the gun from a bank, that it's easier to get a gun than a credit card. And to me, that is insane. Here in Canada, we have very strict gun laws, and it takes a long time, 2 years, I think the max is, to get a gun. There has to be lots of communication with your family and why you need this and all this extra work that the United States doesn't have. So for me, I think that the states should just control it way more and try to get these guns in the hands of for the right people and not have them open for everybody. Children should not be able to bring guns to school, and there needs to be way more safer gun laws for that. My evening gown, hint, hint, hint. We are currently in the works of my evening gown. I'm so excited. For you, those of you that remember Miss Canada last year, Marta, her amazing evening gown from Michael Cinco. So I have tough shoes to fill, but I know my designer and I will have something amazing too. Yeah, for teens suffering with young self-esteem, it's hard. I remember being in high school and you think high school is everything and that there's life after high school. I think that's my biggest advice is don't take high school too seriously. There is life after high school. So if you can get through those 4 years of high school, it's smooth sailing from there. High school is probably one of the hardest times for a lot of people, and it's the biggest time for you to find your identity. So you want to keep that in sync and not try to lose yourself. And that's when you grow as a kid, and if you have low self-esteem, try to focus on the positive things. I know there's a lot of things as a kid I hated about myself, and there's some things you still do, but you just got to work with what you got and show people who you are. Knowledge or experience? That's always a tough question because I love both. I have a university degree and I love the knowledge I've learned over the years in school, and I think knowledge is power. But experience is so important, and I have grown so much as a person from experience in life that you can't get in school. So for me, I love them both. I think they're both important. And there's also people who don't even go to school and are some of the most successful business people in the world. So it goes both ways, but whatever works best for you. I agree with knowledge. You need the knowledge. Knowledge is power. So go to school. Biggest failure, yes. So biggest failure to me is a bunch of times when I competed in something or tried out for teams and I never made it. As a kid, I always wanted to do the best I could everywhere, and getting told no so many times is so hard. And that happened to me more times than I can even count. So that's it. It wasn't a failure to me because I learned from it, and I'm Miss Universe Canada now. So all those experiences built me up to be the person I am today. So I don't knock any of them, but at the time it's very tough to mentally get over the fact that you were told you're not good enough. And even being Miss Universe Canada, people are still going to tell me you're not good enough to be at Miss Universe. So it's just a constant struggle, but I'm proud of who I am and everything I've done to be here. So don't let that bother you. Thanks, guys, for all the positive. An advocate for marijuana. I'm an advocate in the legalization of marijuana, not so much for the recreational use. I myself have never legally or illegally used marijuana, and I do not plan to. It's a personal choice of mine, but I do not knock anybody who wants to try it or doesn't try it. It's a personal choice. I just see many benefits economical in the society of Canada. So for me, I agree with the legalization of our country, and I stand by our Canadian law. Thanks for the compliment, Jay. My designer is top secret, but I could give you a little hint, is if you've seen either of my gowns from Miss Canada, one of them might be my designer. So yeah. What can you usually give to the universe? Yeah, I hope I answered your question about the legalization of marijuana. Sorry, I saw that the question was a couple times. What else? Hello from Sydney, Australia. Thank you for joining in. Yeah, a little bit about my national costume is it will obviously have the color red in it. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say. But stay tuned because I love costumes. I love art. So it's going to be pretty extravagant. Famous personality in the world. Meghan Markle is actually my top choice. She is she was an American actress and now the princess, but she used to do the show Suits, if any of you have watched the episode Suits, and I love her. She's an amazing actress. She has an amazing voice for women empowerment, and she is one of my favorite. For anyone who doesn't know, she has a lot of stories about women empowerment, and she said some pretty amazing things over the years. So I'd love to have dinner with her. She's a great public speaker, and I feel like a lot of the world could use her. My favorite moment. One of my favorite moments so far, for those of you that follow me, I just was in New York and I shot with Fradil, who was the official photographer for Miss Universe for a long time. I'm not sure if he's going to be it this year, but it was a pretty amazing experience. I'm so thankful for my coaches for helping me get that, and it was pretty amazing. So stay tuned for those photos because they're pretty, for all of you that know his work, he's pretty amazing. So I'm excited to see those. So the previous queen, so two of my coaches, you guys might adore too. Miss Canada 2005, Natalie Glebova. She is one of my coaches. She's amazing. She has an amazing book, so go read that. She's given me lots of advice and is helping me every step of the way from Miss Canada to Miss Universe. So I'm thankful for her, as well as Chelsea DeRoche, Miss Universe Canada 2011, and Marta Stepien, Miss Universe Canada 2018. So yeah, we have lots to talk about, and I love hearing all their advices. Actually, Natalie and Marta both competed in Thailand, but Chelsea actually competed in Brazil. So they both have had all different experiences, so it's great to hear over the years how Miss Universe is involved and what they're looking for now. And now with new owners, it's pretty interesting to hear. Oh, hello, Abby. What has been the best piece of advice? The best piece of advice is to focus on yourself and do not compare yourself. We are competing with a number of amazing girls who all won for their country. We are all at the same level, so we know that all of us women are so strong, but you just have to compete with yourself. Don't worry about any of the other girls. Prepare yourself both physically and mentally to your fullest ability, and you'll be happy with your performance and the outcome. That's what all the previous girls have told me, so it's so great to hear that advice. And I remember when Catriona came to Canada, she said she felt like she could win because she felt the most prepared. And for me, I took that comment and ran with it. So when I competed for Miss Canada, I wanted to be the most prepared there, and I truly felt that I was, and it paid off. Thank you so much. Sorry, my mic went off. How would you like global community to view? I love the way that people view Canadians. We have such a well-known rep around the world. We are such kind people. We're so welcoming, and we love to have new immigrants in Canada. My grandparents are actually from Italy, so they immigrated here. And they had my parents here, and now I'm here. So I'm so happy that Canada is so accepting of every culture. So come visit or live here. So yeah. Thanks, Abby. I'm so excited for you guys all to watch. Yeah, for women's rights, I'm big on business, so equal pay in business. A lot of women are still not getting paid the same amount for doing the same job as men, so that's a big thing I advocate for. I know since I want to work in the sports industry, I'm going to face a lot of discrimination being a woman in sports, and I know a lot of people already have said negative things about me because I work in the car industry. So being a woman talking about cars, a lot of people don't think I have the knowledge for it. So I definitely want to be an advocate for women to excel in any dream that they want to dream, no matter if it's a male-dominated field or not. I played hockey. That's one of the most male-dominated sports, so it's amazing to be a woman in that industry. Thanks for the support. I'm so excited for everyone to watch. A lot of my Atlanta, Georgia is only around a 2-hour flight from my hometown. So we live right across the border of Detroit, Michigan. So we're going right from Detroit to Atlanta. And I know a lot of my family and friends are able to come. So I'm very happy that it's there in Atlanta. Yeah, I think, the suicide is a big issue. A close friend of mine that I used to work with, a coworker in Toronto, she committed suicide. She was a lovely lady, and it was a very sad day for everybody. In that case, what I had to deal with is none of us knew she was struggling. So what I can take from that is you have to ask questions, you have to be concerned about other people, and you want to be welcoming to people so they feel like they can open up to you. And for her, our whole work felt like we let her down because we didn't know that she was struggling. So my biggest advice to anybody who is struggling, just please, please, please talk to somebody. It will always get better, I promise. Affordable healthcare. It's both. It is a right and a privilege, but here in Canada, we have free healthcare, and it's so important for our citizens to get the help that they need. You shouldn't have to give up food just to cure a sickness. So I'm so happy to be from a country that has OHIP and free healthcare for our Canadian citizens. Love to the Philippines. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. You guys are great. Success to me, success is happiness. And I know being in pageants, especially here in Canada, some people may not understand why I do it. So I know how successful I feel and how happy I am to be where I am, but a lot of people may not feel the same way. So to define success is not no monetary value. It's where you feel the most fulfilled in your life. So I definitely feel very successful and blessed. Yeah, social media definitely makes us share everything in our life, but the reality behind it is you can't take social media too seriously because things aren't always as they seem. And I know I've learned that the hard way. So, yeah. What else? Also have hyperware. Yeah, I definitely think people edit photos way too much. I think we look at edited photos and think that's real, and we get in this mindset that we have to look a certain way or act a certain way, or our life isn't as exciting as someone else's you'd see on social media. But so you have to take social media as a grain of salt and just let it be what it is and not focus your whole life on it. Take it as something extra that you can take a break from, but focus on the happy things in your life and don't compare yourself to other people. That's something that I've had to learn for sure. Yeah, like I said before about the legalization of marijuana, I think it is very helpful for society. I think we are making way more moves in the safety of marijuana for people who are using it recreational. We're taking money out of the black market and we're putting our safety in the citizens who are using it. So the fact that it's controlled by the government is so great for people who are already using it. Now they can have it in a safe way. But the other thing that is great about the legalization is that we are also saving millions and millions of dollars in law enforcement. So now these law enforcement fees are being taken out of the marijuana and now put into way better use, that we can focus our energy and money on way bigger issues than marijuana. So that's another benefit we are seeing in Canada here. Yeah, I love you guys too. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, I'm just wrapping up. I'll do a couple more questions if anyone has any more questions about my preparation at Miss Universe or Canada as a whole. One word about myself and why. One word is... One word. I can't even think of myself in one word. I would say, like I said before, ambitious. I think that word best describes me. I know that I will be successful in my life because I'm not going to stop till I get there. So that's one word that definitely describes me. Do you think English speaking should be a prerequisite? Not necessarily. English is my first language here in Canada, but we're also bilingual in French as well. I think previous Miss Universes have not spoken English very fluently, but they've still been great leaders as a whole. As long as you could share with the world your positive attitude, you're kind to people, and you have a voice, no matter what language you're speaking, I think you can make an impact on the world as the Miss Universe. My message to Filipino fans, thank you so much for your endless support. Philippines have the greatest fans I've ever seen in the history of pageants, so it's so amazing to have you guys support us. I know over the years you've supported all our Canadian queens, and Canada does love the Philippines, so thank you so much for your support. Yeah, for you, what is love? Love is love. Whatever you desire, whoever you desire to love, do it 100%. So for me, whatever I love, anything I love, I give it my all. No matter if it's same-sex marriage, if someone is into that and you love somebody 100%, it should not matter what sex you are. If you love someone, you should be able to be with them. If you love a certain career, you have a passion, anything you love, give it your all and give it 100% and just focus on what you're doing and don't worry about what other people say. Thank you so much, Liam, for the compliment. You guys are so amazing. Thank you, Filipino fans. I am signing off. Thank you to Sash Factor for having me on this live. I really appreciate all your fans. Be sure to follow me at _Alyssa Boston, ALYSSA BOSTON on Instagram and follow my journey to Miss Universe. Thank you so much for having me. Good morning to all the Filipino fans and good night here in Canada. Thank you.